Hey everyone, Dave here. I'm doing a day bushcraft trip today. I'm in the same plot of crown land that I've been my few other bushcraft day videos. I basically just come back here and I'm going to explore even more of the territory, get more familiar with what the whole surroundings are. It's going to rain. It's starting to spit a little bit. I have probably about 5 hours out here, so I do have a tarp and things like that. I have my Miltech 36-liter backpack, which I put a new strap on, and it's worked really awesome. I took this strap off of my Mountain Smith bag, and it makes the bag like 10 times easier to carry. So that's pretty cool. And also today, I'm featuring my Mora Classic #1. That's my knife of choice. So we're gonna play around a little bit. We're gonna start a fire. We're gonna cook up a little bit of food. I'm gonna look for some areas. I totally just saw movement over there. Me yapping away. I wonder if that was a deer or if that was something else. Because it was a little bit lower lying, and there's definitely cougars in the area. And Molly's right beside me, so I'm gonna go check that out after I finish talking to you. But basically, we're gonna be cooking up some food on the fire and looking for some new spots around this area. Oh, it's a deer. I just saw it again. Let's see. Yeah, you guys won't be able to see it. Cool. So yeah, we're looking for new spots. I'm gonna set up a tarp because it probably will rain, and I'm just gonna hang out. One thing I forgot to mention about my chest strap is that it also has a whistle on it. So if I was in trouble, it's a 2-in-1, so that's pretty cool. And Molly's coming running. What did I do? I really do like this area. I think it'd be a nice area to do some solo overnights in. It's not too deep out in the wilderness type of deal, but it's a really like calm place. You got the ocean down there. It's very scenic. The forest is easy to walk through, besides the cliffs, obviously. Those aren't easy to walk through, but in general, there's not much ground cover. It's very mossy. There's lots of places, lots of firewood. So I really do like this area. This is a good spot. Nice view. Ow. Oh man. Take two. I'll get you some water, don't worry. Molly gets her own water bottle. I've come to a flatter area after some hiking back up the kind of rocky places, and I didn't come to this area before, and this is a really nice area. There's a lot of, you can see the down. I'm pretty sure they're mostly Douglas fir, if not all Douglas fir. Quite, stout but small as far as age goes for the Douglas fir trees. And it looks like to me that this area has been previously logged, and then the Doug firs are starting to take over again. There's a lot of building materials around here, and I like that, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. There might be a bushcraft camp going on in the future, and this looks like a really good candidate for something small, not too intrusive, but a good hangout spot so I can do some things, come out to, you know, something that's already built, and then I could shoot more videos and things like that. Okay, I'll be the first to say that my weakness is knots. There's something about doing knots that I just don't, it's hard for me to learn. But anyways, what I do for my tarp is I create a loop, simple loop on one end of your paracord, like that. And then I'll wrap this around the tree, feed the hank of paracord through like that, and then pull it tight around the tree. I'm gonna go quite high because I want some headspace. Feed it through. So I'm basically going once, twice over, in there, and then like that. I don't know, seems tight to me. Good enough. Big old ugly cheap tarp. Nice and crinkly. Not a moment too soon, the rain's starting to come. So I'm basically just using jute twine to tie off the tarp here, and I'm using a toggle and a loop on the end of the jute twine. Yada yada. Pull it tight, and then I'm going to go underneath this log a few times. So the tarp is set up. I think it's about time to start prepping a fire and make just a very basic little setup here. So this guy here, I'm pretty sure is a solid Douglas fir with the top broken off of it. And I would like to use it as my work log. And maybe later on sometime, if I come back here, this would be really, really good firewood. So I'm going to take it down. And it's severely leaning this way. So back cut here, and then do a higher, undercut here, and then you do a higher back cut here, and you'll create a hinge and it'll fall perfectly for you. So remember to keep this leg out of the way when you're swinging with your axe. This is where your accident's going to happen, so keep that in mind. Well, that sucks. I felled it and it wasn't recording, so I can't redo it. Anyways, I got my log, and basically what you need to do after you've done your undercut, you do your back cut. Back cut is a little bit higher, and you just create a hinge. Fell it the way that you want it to fall. Fall it the way that it's naturally leaning is the easiest way to fell a tree. Okay, I'm gonna buck a section now. The easiest way to buck, especially a log like this, because it's a little bit elevated, you can come on this side, do your notch, and then come on this side, and then you shouldn't have a trouble with the axe wanting to hit your leg, but have a wide stance so that won't happen at all. You want your notch to be about as wide as the diameter of your thing that you're trying to buck. Halfway through or so. Cut out that top part of it. Switch sides. I would suggest going a little slower when you're getting near to the end, because the ground is loaded with the rocks. So try not to overcut through it and hit a rock. There's a rock right back here. There's probably a rock underneath it. So go easy on the last bit there. Almost. There we go. Oh yeah. That's a dense piece of wood for sure. Few ways you can split wood, obviously. I'm just going to smack them like this. Just with some of the bigger pieces. Not too bad on the inside there. Tad rotten. This one has a nice check in it. Just put your axe in the check. Split nicely for you. This one also has a nice check in it. Axe in the check. A little rotten up here. Good to go. Since I'm out here playing with the classic one, might as well try some knife splitting with it. See how that goes. A little bit rotten. Not perfect firewood, but it'll work. You know, I haven't really brought my classic one out in the woods until today, really. So I thought I'd give it a try. And it's a nice knife because it's very light and you don't really notice it when you're wearing it. That's one thing I did like about it. I don't like the sheath though. It doesn't go into my belt very well. So that little dinky plastic sheath kind of sucks. Not giving me trouble. Not too shabby. So here we have a nice western red cedar, which is great kindling. I'm going to break off a bunch of little branches and maybe saw up a piece and make some shavings out of it for the fire. Bone dry. I'm going to take this whole thing. Okay, I have my pieces of cedar. Let's try and baton it and see if we can get half decent split to make some nice shavings on. I mean, the cedar is quite knotted, but that's okay. Okay, so something about the Mora Classic #1 is it doesn't have a sharpened spine, and I didn't sharpen it, so we're going to have to try to strike this with my back of my saw because it's a sharp piece of metal. And basically I have a bundle of twigs to throw on top of the curls and some of the shavings, so we're going to go ahead and see how this works. Moving around on me a bit. There we go, got a flame. Get that other curl going. Try not to smother it. Let your shavings get going. Get your twigs on there. be ready for your other fuel. I had a bunch of stuff, all of my leftover cedar. Make sure you put it on different ways so it's got air, and that will flame up no problem. Oh, that was one thing that I forgot, is that the Mora Classic #1 doesn't have a sharpened spine. And, I mean, that's okay. You can always use your axe edge, and, the saw works too. There's a bunch of different things that you can use to strike your ferro rod. It doesn't have to be the back of your knife. So, if you ever get in that situation, you can use your saw. Alright, I'm going to make some coffee here, so move these around a bit. Because I have rocks as a base, I can easily use the hand that I don't have gloves on to put my mug into my fire. And then I'll get these coals back in there. So this is what I'll be cooking up. I got ham, 2 pieces of bread, cheese, eggs. So I'm going to make a grilled cheese with ham and egg in it. And, load up my pan. I got my pan over here with a little handle. Load up with butter, cook the eggs. And we're going to throw together a really nice sandwich, and then I'm going to make that coffee right now. Water is boiled. Ooh. You learn how to manage hot things with your bare hands after a few burns here and there. And wearing gloves definitely will save you, but half the time you put gloves on, you take them off because gloves are fumbly, right? So when you're doing small things like this, it's super annoying to put your gloves on and off, on and off, on and off when you're dealing with a fire. So a lot of the times you just end up chancing things and just trying to do things without gloves. And yeah, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Try not to scald my lips. Yeah, that's nice. So we're just about ready to start cooking. Probably try to fry the eggs first. I didn't really plan or think this through. I have one pan and I have all these things to cook, so I figure I'll fry the eggs, fry the ham, toast the bread inside the pan. And that rhymed too. Green eggs and the ham for me. Okay, I'm going to try to put the cheese on the ham so it's melted. I flipped it over. Let's put the egg in there. Awesome. Well, easier said than done. Yeah. The idea in my head was good. Execution, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm sure it will taste good regardless of what I do. Okay. Now I'm going to try to flip the sandwich somehow. Oh, this is going to be a disaster. Oh, that worked. Not too shabby. let's try and cut it in half. Oh yeah. I think I did it. I think I did a pretty good job. Nice. Yeah. That's good. That is good. I wasn't sure how it was going to work, but it worked, that's for sure. Glorious. Did you work hard today? Did you work hard today? Yeah. Don't swallow it all in one go. You're not going to be able to chew it, Molly. So thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you guys like the area that I'm in, and let me know what you think, because this probably is a suitable candidate for sure to do some solo overnights, and maybe even there's tons of wood out here to work with, so a little camp could easily be made and easily established. So if you like the spot, let me know in the comment section, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, do all those cool things, and until the next video, I hope you guys have a great day.